Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Every year when we get the updates as far as what companies will be releasing for the next year, we are always super excited, but always left with a little hint of sadness because at the same time that we are getting all these very cool new figures, we always find out that some figures from each company will be retired, and that to me is very sad because there are so many great figures that end up getting retired. But unfortunately, I guess as the saying goes, it's out with the old and in with the new. And just like the recent video I did for Schleich and what they'll be retiring for the 2020 year, we now have official word from Everything Dinosaur as to what will be retired from Papo. 4 figures will be cut from the production of Papo this year, and honestly, one is one that I actually thought was already retired, to be honest. It is their green Stegosaurus. I assumed that that one was retired last year when they came out with the new color scheme, but apparently it was not. Somehow I missed that, so I don't really see this one as being much of a surprise, as I kind of expected it to have been retired last year, but it held on an extra year. It is a really nice looking figure. I actually quite love the Stegosaurus from Papo, even if it's not exactly what we would call an accurate Stegosaurus. I still do love that figure, and especially with the very Jurassic Park, I guess you should say Lost World Jurassic Park, style paint scheme and appearance on it, it definitely holds a very special place in my heart, so it's sad to see it go. But again, they did release a new version of it last year, so I kind of expected it to have been retired already, but we now have official word that this year it is for sure retired. The next one is their Pachycephalosaurus, and this one we do not have an updated version of, unless you consider the Stygimoloch an updated version of a Pachycephalosaur, but as far as an actual straight-up Pachycephalosaurus, we do not have an updated version of it at all. However, they are retiring the figure regardless. I really do like this figure as well. It's a very nice, small, compact-sized Papo figure, and it also really nicely resembles the Lost World Jurassic Park version of the Pachycephalosaurus. So just like the Stegosaurus, it's always going to hold a special place in my heart, as I am a huge JP fan, and it's one of the very few Jurassic Park-inspired Pachycephalosaurus figures that we've ever had. So again, another figure that is definitely sad to see go away. Then the next one is the Velociraptor, and this one definitely makes sense, especially with the newer release coming. We now have a new updated paint scheme from Papo. This is the older, brighter version. Maybe you could consider this the male, the newer version a female, but honestly, I was never a huge fan of the figure. I really did like the sculpt, but I felt like the paint of the actual production pieces never quite looked that good. For some reason, almost every single time I would see it, the paint was just applied too thick and just did not look natural. It looked a little weird to me. Similar, honestly, to their newer Oviraptor that they had released a few years ago, where it just kind of didn't look perfect on it as far as how the actual factory paint looked, but again, it is still a really cool figure, but with the newer release, it's kind of expected that this one would get retired. So the Velociraptor is on its way out. And then we have the final of the group, and that would be the Prehistoric. Again, another one that is definitely very sensible. They just are releasing a newer paint scheme, a much nicer looking paint scheme actually. Although I do like the older version because I love any type of a hadrosaur anytime we can get one, and I really did like the paint scheme on the older one as well. It looked fairly natural, fairly nice, but with the newer really awesome looking paint scheme that they are releasing, again it makes sense to retire this figure. So as of 2020, they will no longer be producing these 4 figures. Nothing super crazy, nothing heartbreaking, I will say. The last few years they've retired some really awesome pterosaurs that weren't out for all that long. That was pretty shocking to me, but this year nothing out of the ordinary and crazy, but regardless, it is still sad to see any figures go away. So if you happen to want these guys, make sure you pick them up as soon as possible, because the longer they're discontinued and retired, the more expensive they will get. I know Everything Dinosaur does have stock of quite a few of them. I think there was one that they didn't have stock of. I don't really recall which that is exactly, but a lot of these figures are still readily available from most retailers that do sell Papo figures, so make sure you get on picking these up if you do in fact want them before the prices skyrocket. So as of right now, guys, that's all the retirement news we have. Once I find out more from any of the other companies out there, we'll be sure to let you guys know, but until then, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.